I feel like it's been a while since I've had a mug of caffeine while I've been talking to you guys. Hey guys, it's Devin, and today I'm going to be doing my first ever top 5 wrap-up. So if you did not see my top 5 TBR video from March, I will leave it in the cards and in the description if you want to go check it out. But basically, I'm just going to be talking about the 5 books that I read and what I thought about them. First things first, as usual, it shouldn't be a surprise to you guys at this point, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video, and make sure you hit the little bell so you really never miss a video. Shameless self-promo aside, let's get right into the books. The first book that I read is The Help by Catherine Stockett. I believe I was already about halfway through this book when I did my top 5 TBR video in March. I really loved this book. I would probably give it 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I absolutely adored this book. This is definitely in the top 3 books that I've read so far this year. It was such a pleasant surprise because I bought this book a while ago and I've always kind of put it off and never really thought about reading it. But I saw it one day and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read The Help. I'm going to pick it up. And I opened it and I could not put it down. What I really like about this book is that the 3 narrators all had very different voices and they're very distinct, and the fact that they're all kind of differently regarded in society, you know. Even though I've already seen the movie adaptation of this book, I still found it really intriguing. I found all of the different storylines very interesting, and there wasn't a particular storyline that I was bored with. Whereas with other stories, there's usually that character that you're just like, get on with it already, I want to skip this part of the book. I never really had that with this because I genuinely enjoyed reading about all of these characters. The second book I read is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. If you guys watched the top 5 TBR video from March, you would know that I read this book almost purely because my friend Tara has been peer pressuring me to read it for so long now, and I can firmly say, Tara, you were right. This book is absolutely incredible. It's again in the top 3 favorite books that I've read this year. I think it's Witch and Wizard, The Lost, Throne of Glass, and then The Help. This book was a ride from start to finish. I think it's a really solid opener for a series. It really grabbed me and dragged me into the world, and it kept me guessing the entire book. Ever since I put this book down, all that I've been thinking about is that I need this book to be adapted into a movie or TV show because it is perfect to be on some kind of screen. I think that everybody needs to get on this, and they need to make this either a movie or a TV show on Netflix because I think that would be absolutely incredible. I'm out of caffeine. That's really sad. The third book I read has been on my TBR for years and years, and that is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. I finished this beast of a book in less than a month. It was actually probably a couple weeks, and that's pretty good because usually this size of a book would take me about 3 months to read, so I'm very proud of it. This is the book that kind of started me on loving audiobooks. I listened to this on audiobook, I rented it from my library, and I just stuck my headphones in whenever I was doing some kind of mundane task like cleaning, and I just listened and listened and listened for 23 hours. I listened to this book. I think I definitely would have had a harder time reading it had I read it physically, so I highly recommend the audiobook if anybody is looking to read the Mortal Instruments series. I liked how they had 2 different narrators, and I just think that they each brought their own unique kind of style and flair to whatever parts they were narrating that somehow married together perfectly. This book was a pretty epic conclusion. It's not my favorite in the series, but I think it's not my least favorite. It's an epic conclusion, but I have realized something that I have been too scared to admit for a while now. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. I'm just not a huge fan of the Mortal Instruments series. I'm sorry. On some level, yes, I am a fan, but on another level, it's just something that kind of dragged on a little bit for me. It doesn't hold my interest as much as I think other series would. And this is making me cringe so hard saying this, and I'm really, really sorry to any huge Mortal Instruments fan out there. Like, yes, I am a fan. It's just not my favorite series in the world. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. It's somewhere in the middle. Now, this is the point where I changed up my TBR a little bit. I know I was supposed to read Island the Happily Ever After and then Percy Jackson Sea of Monsters. I did not end up reading Percy Jackson. I actually got another audiobook from my library because Percy Jackson was not available. So I ended up listening to Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This is a nice, short, contemporary book. I absolutely loved it. This book is about a girl who suffers from anxiety, like severe social anxiety, and she wears dark sunglasses all the time. She can't make eye contact with people until one day she meets her brother's friend Linus, and she finds herself drawn to him, and it's a really adorable love story, contemporary, but it's also actually pretty funny for its subject matter, which I was not expecting. The lady who narrated this, her name is escaping me right now, but she did a fantastic job. She was hilarious. I love the characters in this book. I do have a few issues with this book. It's a short book, but I feel like things just progressed a little too quickly. The last book I read is Island the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. This is the third book in the Anna and the French Kiss companion series, if my English is working correctly today. As you can see, I am still reading this one. It's so close to being done, but by the time this video goes up, I will have finished this book, so that's why I'm including it in this wrap-up, and I've definitely read enough to form some solid opinions on it. Overall, I think this might be my favorite in the series. I really enjoyed how the other two kind of followed the formula of girl and boy chase each other throughout the entire story and then ultimately get together in the end. Whereas this one did not quite follow that formula. I don't really want to spoil anything, but it definitely has a much more of a roller coaster kind of formula, which I really enjoyed, which is why this book is probably my favorite in the series. I genuinely don't know what is going to happen, and I think that's what excites me about this book, because the other two books were very predictable. You know that the girl is going to get the guy and the guy is going to get the girl. This book, I have no idea what's going to happen at this point. And I liked how we are able to explore some characters who have been there all along, but have been more side characters and not necessarily in the forefront of everything. So that is all I have for you guys today with my first ever top 5 wrap up. I'll leave links to the other 2 top 5 TBR videos that I've done down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, if you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to follow me on all of my social media. And I will see you all in my next video. That is all from me and my shelfie.